My first YouTube video. I don't even know how to really start this because I feel uncomfortable. Hi, my name is Maddie Stark. I'm 19 years old. I am about to be a junior in college. I've wanted to make a YouTube channel since I was 12 years old, and I was always discouraged by I don't know, thinking I would probably get bullied in school for putting myself out there. And I finally just hit the point where I was like, I want to do this, and if anyone has their opinion, that's fine, because I'm doing something that I want to do for myself. So welcome. I'm feeling awkward, if you can't tell. Made my bed for you, but the floor is messy. But I wanted to start my channel pretty vulnerable, I feel and maybe putting something out about myself that a lot of people didn't know about me. I don't even know how to talk right now. Okay. This video is gonna be about something that happened to me at birth. I have an arm injury called Erb's palsy. I guess I just wanted my first YouTube video to be my story in a way. So if you want to know a little more about me and something that's affected my life a lot, keep watching, subscribe. That would be great. I would love some subscribers. So I'm just going to tell this story the way that I know it, that I was told growing up. There may be some things that were off, but I feel for the most part, I have pretty much everything right. So I have notes, so I'm gonna read off them. Okay, so on August 18th, 2000, my mom went into delivery with me. I was a 9-pound baby, so a natural birth for my mom, it was gonna be difficult. And so I think that the doctors and nurses could have anticipated that, but unfortunately they didn't, and they had my mom proceed with a natural birth. So in the delivery room, I got caught by my shoulders because I was a huge baby, a very massive child, infant, newborn. When I was stuck by my shoulders, the doctor was like, okay, we're gonna break her left arm. I don't know if this is actually how the conversation went down. He decided to break my left arm in hopes that that would help kind of move things along in my birthing process, and that did not work. So then after he broke my left arm, I was losing oxygen, my mom was losing oxygen, and I don't know if it was a moment of panic, but what the doctor did was he pulled me out by my neck. And you're supposed to be very fragile with infants and babies. Everyone knows this. So him pulling me out by my neck tore nerves down to my right arm. Sorry if that made anyone cringe. Makes me cringe. So basically after I was born, I had a broken left arm and a right arm where the nerves weren't even working. So no one was really holding me after my birth because it was just, you had to be very careful with me because of all of the trauma I had just gone through. I probably wanted to be held. I'm really glad I don't remember how that felt because I can't imagine how much it hurts to have your nerves torn. Ow. So anyways, as my arm was healing as an infant, you're supposed to be moving around, growing your bones or whatever, getting stronger. And that's not something I could really do because my arms were broken. From what I understand, my bone in my forearm started to deteriorate. So it was very weak, and I think it was deforming also because from what I understand, my bone in this arm is twisted. It ain't it. What that means is that I cannot supinate my hand. And for those of you who don't know what that means, this is supination. So this is me trying to. So I'm not laughing at myself, but I am because I'm allowed. So I can push it further, right? But I can't do it myself. That means that it's really hard for me to do things as simple as my friends would ask me if I could bring their plate to the table, and I would be like, no. And I wasn't trying to be mean, I just couldn't carry 2 plates at once. It's little things like that people don't even realize that they flip their hand over so much. Even shaking someone's hand, sometimes I'm a little nervous because I come in like this. Can you imagine someone coming in to shake your hand like that? Cause if it was this hand, I don't know. Do you see the difference? So another thing that's difficult for me is I can't straighten my arm. I guess it's not difficult, I can't do it. So this is as much as I can raise my arm. I hate doing that. Literally, even on a roller coaster, I hate putting my arm straight up in the air. You will not catch me putting my arm straight up in the air because I'm so insecure about it. Because it's just one of those things which is is so noticeable that my arm is not straight. I mean, as you can imagine, walking, I don't know if I want to stand up, but walking, it looks like that, okay? The thing that people notice the most, I feel like, is my scars. So I've had 7 surgeries. This is like my biggest scar, I think. It comes all the way up and it wraps all the way around. And then I have a scar here, here, here. I have some here, and I have some like actually wrapping around my armpit, but you do not need to look at my armpit. And then I also have a scar right here. I don't know if you can see it. It's right there. I actually have 2 scars right there. They're actually right on top of one another. And another thing you may have noticed is that I actually wore this shirt for this purpose so you guys could see that this shoulder, my left shoulder, is like perfectly defined, like, yeah. And then you look at this one and it's missing something. Is this like bad? I feel like the way I'm talking about myself is like, it's not nice. Okay. Or like I feel like I'm like bullying myself. If you can tell, like this shoulder's like obviously like a lot more slanted down. And the reason for that, my mom always described it to me as everyone's shoulders are like this. Moves around in its socket, right? And this shoulder is like this, right? So it's just like not where it's supposed to be. I've gone to physical therapy my entire life. I've met a lot of awesome people through it. And basically in physical therapy, it's a lot of stretching my arm, like they push my arm to try to like make sure it doesn't like tighten up because like the tendons, I think right here are like really tight, I think, or the muscles or whatever. That's why my arm won't straighten out. We also do a lot of like exercises and stuff like that, like things to like strengthen my arm. This arm is so significantly weaker than this arm, as you can imagine. I would say that there have been like a lot of challenges that came with this injury. So when I was starting 7th grade, I had moved to a brand new school. I had moved from Indiana to Ohio, and I had just come from being in a private school with a class of like 30 kids. Then when I moved to Ohio, I basically was starting fresh. And I think that the number one concern for me was I did not want anyone to know I had this injury. I think I was embarrassed by it, and I was just like worried what people could say. And I was starting at a public school now, so my class was like hundreds of kids when I was so used to having like such a small grade. And I was just like worried what people would say, like they didn't really know me or grow up with me and like understand the injury. That like was like really hard for me, like coming into a new area where I had to like pretty much re-explain myself to everyone, which growing up in the private school, like if I ever had a surgery or something and came with a cast, my mom used to come into class with me and explain to my class like what my arm injury was. So basically growing up, like everyone kind of knew about it and like understood it. And then coming into like 7th grade, like starting middle school, which is like middle school with all of these new people, I was just like really worried about being bullied. And unfortunately, like I did get criticized by people for it. I remember people like Snapchatting me and mocking me for how I held my arm as if it was my choice, like saying like this is what you look like. And it's just like I didn't love that. Obviously that hurt a lot because I was like, this is not something that I chose for myself. Like I did not choose for this injury to happen to me. So I remember when I hit my freshman year of high school, I was so tired of hearing people's like little comments, and they think it doesn't hurt. But the thing that you're most insecure about, for people to like pinpoint it and say like it's funny how you hold your arm. I don't want to cry right now. For people to be like, it's funny how you hold your arm. Little things like that I just like couldn't do. So I remember my freshman year of high school, I think I was just like fed up with just the idea that I wasn't normal because of my arm injury. And so I asked my mom and my physical therapist if I could get a surgery to make this less tight and make my arm more straight. They agreed to it, and little did they know, I don't even know if they knew this, that it was because I was just being picked on so much that it like drove me crazy. And I will never forget after I had that surgery and I got my cast off, and it took like literally like 10 weeks or something. I had it on for so long. And I got my cast off. A boy came up to me and said, wow, you actually look normal. Like, how do you take that? It's like exactly what I wanted, but it was like did I not look normal before because my arm was a little bent, you know? So I'm making this video because I'm like I like have hit a point in my life. I'm almost 20 years old that I like accept my injury, and I accept that it's like kind of part of who I am. It's a huge part of who I am. It's like my story. Like when people say like, what's your story? Like that's mine. And I know that a lot of people have injuries that they're insecure about, or that people like pick on them for, or whatever it may be. But honestly, like, embrace it and realize that having an injury can make you so much more compassionate towards people, more understanding towards people who have injuries like you, or have injuries in general. You choose your outlook on it. So I'm choosing to tell the world about my injury, and I wanted to make this my first YouTube video because this is like my story, and I wanted to like almost break the ice with it. So if anyone has like questions or anything, I'll like be willing to answer them. I really appreciate everyone for watching this, and if you want to like see me make other videos and stuff, because I would love to do like more like makeup things. So for anyone who knows me, I love makeup and hair and fitness and skincare and like basically like, you know, all that. So if you want to see any of that, you can subscribe if you want. I won't make you. Yeah, so I really appreciate you guys watching this, and I will catch ya in my next video, which will, who knows when that will be, but thanks for watching.